What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean. I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching my videos and liking and sharing and subscribing. I'm starting at the bottom of these YouTube streets, and I promise you, it's going to get better. I've invested in myself, and I will be having new equipment and all the other little bells and whistles that the more established YouTubers have. I'm going to go into this story today. It happened in '04. The name of this story is going to be called Get Back Across 8 Mile, You Monkey. And this story happens at a gas station in Retford, Michigan. On this particular day, it was a work day. I don't remember what day of the week it was. It was a pretty nice day outside. So my mom calls me in the morning, and she tells me that she's not feeling well. She's feeling dizzy, and she needs to go to the doctor. So I hang up the phone. I call in sick from my job. I get my son dressed, who's about 6 months old, put him in the car seat, strap him in the car, and I go around to my mom's house and I pick her up and I take her to the doctor. We're at the doctor for about 2 or 3 hours, and when we leave the doctor, she's still not feeling too well. He gave her a prescription. So I drop my mom off at the house, and I go to fill her prescription and get me something to eat because I'm starving. So I drop off the prescription at the pharmacy, and I go across the street from the pharmacy to a gas station that has a Subway sub sandwich shop in it. So I pull my son out the car and I set his car seat on the counter. The young lady who's waiting on me, and I'm the only customer in the store, by the way, she starts playing with the baby, saying how cute he is, blah, blah, split. And she starts making my sandwich. While she's making my sandwich, I hear the door open, the little jingle thing on the door. Then I hear somebody say, hey, homeboy. Homeboy. Now, that's not my name, so I didn't even turn around. Then he starts saying, hey, you. And this was '04, and I had on an old FUBU jersey. So then he starts saying, hey, FUBU. So I turn around. It's a tall, older white man standing in the doorway. Is this your car? Is this your MFing car? I said, yes, it is. He said, move it. Right now, move it. and he walks out the door. And I'm sitting up there looking at this lady, and she's got her mouth open like, wow. And I was like, don't worry about it. Just finish making my sandwich, whatever. So she's, finishing up making my sandwich. And he comes back in. Didn't I tell you to move it, homeboy? Didn't I tell you to move your car? Move it. Get out here right now and move your car. I was like, yeah, okay. So the lady rings up my sandwich, and while I'm paying, he comes back to the door again. And he says, hey, didn't I tell you to move your car, monkey? He called me a monkey. Now, you got my attention. The lady, she got her mouth open like, oh, wow. And so he leaves and goes out, and then she starts apologizing for him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I said, no. Don't be sorry for me. Be sorry for him. Because at this point, I'm like, if I go outside and this guy's still here, it's going to be some problems. So I go outside with my sandwich, and I open up the back door. I throw my sandwiches across the seat. I start strapping my son into the seat. As I'm doing this, my car shakes rather violently. My son, the car seat falls onto the floor of the back seat of the car. My son starts hollering and screaming. I'm like, what the hell? picking him up, and I look up, and this guy done hit my damn car. For real. He done backed his car into my car pretty hard. So now I'm real mad. I'm mad now. So I'm trying to hurry up and strap my son in the car, and he's hollering, and you know, my son wasn't no crybaby. So for him to cry, that was something big to me. So I strap him in, I close the door, I lock the doors, and I close the door. By the time I do that, he hits my car again. And he's yelling out the window, "Didn't I tell you to move your car, monkey? Didn't I tell you to move your car? Move it!" I said, "Monkey?" So I go up to his window and I grab him by his shirt. And I starts punching him. Bop! 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 Busting him. And while I'm busting him, he calls me a name that I haven't heard in years. I don't even know if I've ever been called this name. He called me a jigaboo. That's how old this dude was. He called me a jigaboo. They don't even, what? So I'm hitting him, but I'm not getting as good a licks on him as I want to get. So I'm trying to get him out the car. So I start reaching for the door. And as I'm reaching for it to try to open up the door, he starts reaching for his glove box. Now, I don't have nothing on me. I don't have nothing on me. So when I see him reaching for that glove box, I reach up under my shirt like I got something. And I tell him, I said, "If you touch that glove box, I'm going to blow your head off. I'm going to put your brains all over this car." So he pulls his hand back. So I start opening up the door, and I got one hand on his shirt, and I'm opening up the door, and I'm trying to get him out of his seatbelt so I can pull him out the car, so I can really do some work on him. So he's trying to keep me from getting him out the seatbelt. So I'm, wrestling with the seatbelt, and I'm punching him in his face. Bah! And every time I hit him, he's saying a racial slur. "You N-word, you jigaboo, you just every kind of word you could think of. You MF," and then he starts calling me the F word slur for gay people. You lag it, So the more he's cussing, the harder I'm hitting him. I'm trying to hurt this man at this point. So I'm trying to wrestle with him and get him out, and he's yelling and screaming all these racial slurs. And I get him like halfway out the car, but he's still stuck in the seatbelt. So at this point, I decide he got to go. I done lost my mind now. He's got to go. So he's hanging halfway out the car, so I put my foot on his neck, and I'm holding the door, and I'm using the door for leverage, so I can really I'm trying to crush his throat. And now he ain't yelling no worse racial slurs no more. He's and every time he get a break, he's still, So as I'm trying to, and I'm telling him, I'm like, you finna go. Those ain't the words I use, but you finna go. And next thing I know, this Hispanic guy jumps on my back. "Big fella, big man, you're killing him. Get off of him, big man. Please, big man." This little short, chubby Hispanic dude, I don't know where this guy came from. He was like, "I seen the whole thing." He's like, "Get off of him. You're gonna kill him. Look where you are. And and he's on my back, and he's pointing across this little, there's like a brick fence separating the gas station from the next building over, which happens to be the police station. I'm next to the police station. And when I look over, you can see cops walking in and out the building. I'm like, oh. And then he's like, "Get off of him." And this guy, now I'm kind of easing up on him. So he didn't started back cussing. He's calling me all these names. And, I hit him a couple more times. And then I look up, and I swear, there's two guys up on a pole working who's been looking at this whole thing the whole time. They looking down. I don't know if they were electrical workers or phone workers. I don't know, because, I went, but they were looking down the whole time. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh. So he's like, "Get in your car, big man, get in your car and leave." He was like, "Hurry up," So I let the dude go. And as I let him go, he starts yelling, "You go back across 8 Mile, you monkey! Get your ass back across 8 Mile, you monkey!" You know, and I jump in my car and I'm like, I don't even live across 8. I live right around the corner. So I'm driving home. I don't go pick up my mom's prescription or nothing. I go straight home. And I get home and I'm scared because I'm just knowing the police is gonna show up at my house at any moment. I'm like, they got my tag and the police gonna come, you know. So I call my stepdad. I'm like, yo, something just happened at the gas station. I was like, you know, I need you to come over and get the baby because I think the police are gonna come pick me up and I don't want the baby to be here, you know, when they come get me. So he's like, oh, I'm like, look, can you go pick up mom's prescription from the pharmacy and don't tell my mother what happened. You know, please don't tell her. You know, he's like, okay, okay. So he goes to pick up the prescription and he comes over and I'm like, here, you know, take the baby. He's like, well, how do you know the police are coming? I said, I don't know if they're coming or not. I said, but I don't need the baby with me if they do come, you know. So he's like, well, I tell you what, I'll wait over here with you, you know, see if they come. So he comes in and I throw on a movie and the three of us sit there and we watch the movie until all three of us fall asleep. And when we woke up, it was dark. And my mom's calling his cell phone and my cell phone, like, where y'all, what's going on, you know? And, you know, I'm like, hey, don't tell my mother nothing. And he didn't tell her, and he took the prescription to her, and I didn't go to jail. But that's the story about get back across 8 Mile, monkey. Thank you. If you like this story, like, subscribe, share, and I appreciate any comments you'd like to make. Thank you. Peace.